Will humans mutate into mermaids?
Wow.
They need to stop telling us to fix climate change when they're the ones who kind of caused it. Oh, I'm president.
Why aren't adults doing more to protect the sea?
So you're Dr. Merrick.
Expert in marine physics and ocean climate.
Hello, nice to meet you. So what do you think I do if I study the oceans?
I think you study like the waves and the currents.
I think you try to discover different creatures.
That's all correct apart from the animals. I do study of waves and currents.
How do you know what's going on in the ocean?
Well, we make lots of measurements in the ocean. We do different types of measurements. So when I first started studying the oceans, we used to go to sea in ships. Now we also have like robots. They're like things that we can send off into the ocean, like little torpedoes or gliders that can go off and float through the water and make measurements. And they come up to the surface and send the measurements back by satellite.
Have you seen the sea change?
Yeah, we have seen changes. We've seen changes in temperature. The waters are getting warmer. We've seen changes in sea level. I don't work on sea level myself, but some of my colleagues do, and they've seen measured sea level rise all around the world. You can measure that from space as well, interestingly enough.
What will happen if the ice caps melt?
Well, the main thing that will happen is the sea level will go up, because all this ice, the ice caps are actually Greenland and Antarctica. The ice is on land, so it's not actually in the ocean. So when it melts, the sea level will go up.
Why aren't adults doing more to protect the sea?
That's a good question. I think some adults are trying to protect the sea, but not all adults, sadly. I think there are lots of adults who don't think about it. I think it's not that they're being nasty, they just don't think about it. So some adults are trying to do things, but not all. It'd be good if we could persuade every adult.
In multiple of years, will we all be living in floating cities?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Possibly. It's one way. If the sea level keeps rising and there's not so much land to go on, yes, I suppose floating cities is a possibility.
Will humans mutate into mermaids?
Well, I mean, people do adapt, and over long periods of time. I don't know about mermaids, but yes, I suppose we could adapt to more wetter conditions, but I think it would take millions of years.
The floating cities might be using electric fire, so unless it's not using solar panels, I don't think it would work that well because it would still be polluting the air. Maybe we could try underwater cities.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oceans are absorbing our carbon emissions. What actually happens when these chemicals are broken down?
Well, the oceans are absorbing carbon dioxide, you're right. The planet would have got warmer if the oceans weren't taking the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. There'd be more in the atmosphere, therefore the planet would get warmer even faster. So what's happening in the water is when you put carbon dioxide into water, it makes it like an acid, and that can dissolve things. So there are creatures in the ocean that are made out of material like calcium carbonate, where the fact that water is acidic, it actually dissolves the creatures. So it actually can kill off creatures.
When the rubbish goes in the bin into the sea, what type of animals will get hurt?
Oh, all sorts of animals get hurt with the sort of rubbish, particularly plastic that we put into the sea. Turtles get tangled up in plastic bags. Some smaller fish eat bits of plastic, which is not very good for them because they think they're getting food, but they're actually just getting things that are going to make them ill. And even little tiny creatures called zooplankton can eat little tiny bits of plastic. So yes, it can have a bad effect on lots of different creatures in the ocean. Have you got any ideas about what we can do to help the situation?
Yeah.
Eco-sucker, I like the title.
Basically, it sucks up all the plastic, but it also sucks up water. So it'll go in through all the pipes in the boat, and the boat will clean the water so it'll come back into the sea, but with no plastic.
This is an underwater submarine. It helps the animals if they're stuck in something. It just takes it out of them, so it can't die.
That's a great idea. We have autonomous, so robots like submarines already that can go off and do things. So it's a great idea to have a robotic system that can go off and collect the plastics and help the animals. You're the world president. You can tell everybody on the world what to do. What would you tell them to do? What would you say? You have to do this. This is the law. This is what you need to do.
I would say it's a law to recycle anything that's recyclable, and it's a law to not throw anything in the seas.
And what would you do if people broke the law? What punishment would you give them?
Worst case scenario, a bit of jail time.
If like they litter in like public places, I would like move all the litter to like their house or something.
Bury them in their own litter.
You will have your worst fear put next to you.
Oh, right, that's a good one. Worst fear. What would be your worst fears?
Every single dog dying.
Those walking, talking dolls.
Oh, right, okay.
What would be your worst fear?
Oh, that's tricky. Being chased by rats.
I'd be fine with that.
So you've heard of Greta Thunberg, have you? Yeah. So if you had the opportunity like she has to talk to important people about climate, what would you say to them?
We need to act now, and because some people just say they're doing it when they're not.
That's very true, yeah.
I would say to them, they need to stop telling us to fix climate change when one, they're the ones who kind of caused it, and two, if they keep telling us about it and they keep telling us to do something, they need to do something as well instead of sitting around and being, oh, I'm president.
Everybody to put their part in it, like not one person puts their full part, like everyone do it a bit,
What would you like the oceans to look like when you're older, when you're my sort of age, really ancient?
Yeah, I would like the oceans to just, like, the coral to, like, not be bleached, and there are lots of it, and for there's lots of animals that are healthy and not swimming in plastic.
I want them to look clean and tidy.
I can see that you guys are concerned about what's going to happen in the future. It's been really nice to meet you and to talk to you, and thank you very much for your questions.